So should I get rid of my car in the year 2024? Everyone knows vehicles are a very expensive thing to own these days, and quite frankly, the cost really adds up more than we might think. So in this video, we're going to break down all the costs associated with owning a vehicle, and based on the average cost of owning and maintaining a vehicle, we're going to determine whether it's really worth it to own a car in this day and age. And at the end, I'm going to go over my specific situation and give you guys the broke perspective on the topic. So most households own two vehicles, and vehicle maintenance and insurance are among the highest inflated products on the market today, at 47.5% and 47.3% respectively since 2020. In light of this information, it might be a good idea to be consolidating down to just a one-car household. So first we're going to look at what it costs to actually own and maintain a vehicle. There are four main charges that we need to be aware of: fuel costs, insurance costs, car maintenance and repair costs, and of course the dreaded car payment. The amount of money Americans are spending on fuel is $179 per month per vehicle in 2024. When we're looking at car insurance, the average cost is $169 per month per vehicle for the average American. And maintenance and repair comes to $652 to $888 range for an average of $770 per year to maintain and repair the average vehicle. The average used car payment is $523 per month, which comes out to a staggering $6,276 per year just on a car payment. The average new car payment is $735 a month. Multiply that by 12 months and you get a crazy $8,820 per year on car payments. If you take the average of used and new, it comes out to about $629 a month or $7,548 per year for the average car payment. So adding all these together, the cost of owning a vehicle, when you're taking into account fuel, insurance, maintenance or repair, and the average car payment, is $1,041 per month or $12,492 per year just to own and drive your vehicle. Of course, the number may be higher or lower depending on your vehicle, what your payment is, what your loan amount is, what your interest rate is. Just bear in mind that these are averages. So this may seem like a lot of money, but like I said, it's an average, so each person's situation is unique and it's different. You need to look at how much money your car payment is every month and approximately how much gas you're spending. You can go into your credit card app. If you have a credit card and you have the app, you can look at the detailed analysis of what money you're spending where, and you can see actually the breakdown of how much money you're spending at gas pumps. You can just divide this number by 12 in a year and see how much roughly you're spending per month and crunch these numbers for your own situation. So going based on the average numbers, $1,041 per month or $12,000 roughly per year. There's actually a lot of factors to consider. This could be worth it for you, and it may not be. It may be that you're not getting your return on investment with having a vehicle. Let's look at some of the factors that may influence this. First, you have to consider your work. Do you work in an office or from home? How often do you have to commute? How far do you have to commute? Can you carpool with someone that works with you or someone that lives nearby? Is public transportation an option where you live? Is there somewhere you could take a bus or a train or some way, other means of getting to work? Can you ride a bike to work? I've known people that have lived in their cars and driven their cars to work. I've known people that have not had a car and had a nice house and just took their bike to work. It really just depends on your personal preference and where you're at. Next, we have to look at leisure. Now, this isn't really a functional purpose of having a car, especially when it comes to finance, but it still is very important for your sanity and convenience. So having a car for leisurely purposes could actually be really important for you. You need to gauge how often you're using your car for leisurely activities. Would a joint car that's shared between you and your partner be okay? Do you and your partner do most of your leisurely activities together, or do you do them separately? Are there certain classes that you need to attend or they need to attend, or certain seminars or whatever the case may be that you guys may need to separate and each person would need their own car? Or do you do a majority of your activities together? And what distances are you usually traveling for leisure? Are you just traveling, down the road a few miles, or are you going 40, 50 miles to get into the city? That could actually have a huge impact on your fuel cost and wear and tear on your vehicle. Would Ubering to your destination be too costly to justify the savings? How many times per month would you need to take an Uber to get places? And what distance would you have to travel to get there? Which partner's car would be better to keep? It's important to consider things like mileage, fuel efficiency, spaciousness of the car. These are some factors that could be really important down the road. If you didn't think about it, you might get rid of the wrong car and regret it later. The next factor is your income. Is your income enough to justify a $1,000 per month expense? Does your vehicle make you enough money to justify keeping it around at this cost? Could you potentially change your line of work or get a different job that supports more hybrid or at-home remote work? Would this be worth it to you? And then the last factor is personal reasons. So you have to see, will your partner support this cutback, or will it cause friction in your relationship? Will it cause fights, disagreements, and issues down the road in your relationship? Or is it something that you both mutually agree on and can come to terms with? Is the convenience of having 2 cars to get around worth what you're paying for it? For example, someone that doesn't have a car payment, like me currently, I don't owe any money on my car, so that's a huge relief. So I'm really only paying a third of what it costs the average American to keep their car. So the convenience might be worth it for someone like me that doesn't have a car payment versus someone that's paying an $800 per month car payment. And the last one is, do you have any other financial goals that you're really eager to achieve? Do you want to put that $1,000 a month towards something else? Is there a goal that you're really avidly working towards and this is just slowing you down? But you also have to consider, do I need the car to achieve my goals even quicker? Will not having a car set me back financially? Am I a digital nomad that makes most of my money online? Can I work remotely and make most of that money away from an actual physical office? Or does my job rely on physically being where I need to be because of some service? If I'm a doctor or a surgeon, I need to be on site. If I'm an insurance broker, I may not necessarily need to go anywhere. I could just work from home. If I work at a grocery store as a cashier, obviously I can't do that from home. I would have to be there. These are things you need to consider among all the other factors that I mentioned before when deciding whether or not to keep your car. So looking at my situation, I'm gonna give you the broke perspective on this topic. Now, I work in an office and I commute 5 days a week to and from work, about 10 miles. Carpooling doesn't work. I don't have any other coworkers, surprisingly, that live anywhere near me. Everyone has actually a longer commute than me. Public transportation is an option, but I'd have to weigh the pros and cons because I'd lose a lot of time waiting for buses. And if I miss a bus, I'm in trouble and I would have to take an Uber, which would cost me even more money. So that's something that you would have to be really timely and good with being on time and organized to rely on public transportation all the time. Me and my girlfriend's schedules are a little different. Mine is always static, it always stays the same. Hers, on the other hand, is pretty unpredictable. So because of this, I can't really plan around her schedule, and dropping her off at work really doesn't work all the time. She would need to either carpool or Uber to get to work a majority of the time, just based on the different times that she works and has to stay for work. Because I don't want to spend that extra time waiting around for her or get up earlier to take her to work, I think it's worth it from that aspect to keep the car. Now, I do have a side hustle that makes me approximately $400 per month that does help reduce the burden of car costs. But if I were to cut out this side hustle and get rid of the car, then it would affect my ability to get to work. So it's better for me to keep the car and do the side hustle and let that side hustle income actually pay for the vehicle itself and still be able to commute to my normal job. So for leisure, we typically use our cars to go out once or twice per week. I'd be okay sharing a car, but I can't really speak for her. That's something I'd have to discuss with her, especially since the distance that we travel for leisure is typically between 20 and 40 miles. That would easily cost $50 in an Uber on a bad day, since we'd be spending over $100 per week just on Uber, which is about the same cost that it would come out per month for me just keeping my car and paying for gas, maintenance, and insurance. As far as which vehicle we'd keep, well, both of our cars have the same mileage, but mine is more fuel efficient, while her car has more storage space. So that's kind of pros and cons there that we'd have to consider when deciding which car to keep. So our leisure itself could easily be met with one vehicle because we always go together whenever we go out. We're not really going our separate ways, so we don't need 2 cars. But as far as the work situation, that's where we'd butt heads the most because our work schedules differ, so we'd have a difficult time arranging who would drop who off and pick who up. And because of the unpredictable nature of her schedule, we'd have a lot of difficulty coordinating times and we'd do a lot of wasting of time waiting around. So to sum things up, no, it would not be worth it for me specifically to get rid of my car because I don't have a car payment. I'm only paying about $412 a month if we take the average numbers and reduce the average car payment. $412 a month really isn't too terrible. I can easily justify it with my side hustle basically paying for my car. But certain people with huge car payments out there may want to reconsider if they're spending $10, $12, $1,400 a month just maintaining a car, especially people with trucks and cars with really poor fuel mileage. This is something that you might want to think twice about and reconsider, but I hope you have a better picture of what it costs to keep and maintain a car and have more knowledge in your arsenal now to make a more informed decision on whether or not it's actually beneficial for you in your specific situation to keep your car or to ditch it in 2024. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please leave some suggestions in the comments section and like the video if you enjoyed it. Click that bell and subscribe, and have a good day. See you guys soon. Bye.